So here I am going back to doing something I love. Now, it may be another couple months before I do another one, but yeah, I really love contemplating the cities, the Gene Key city words, seeing how they come to me, how I experience them, and comparing them, comparing what I got with what Richard writes about in the Gene Keys book. And I also love to look at the numbers behind the city words. And harmony is like the perfect word. Yeah, so where do I begin? I think, well, I'll just tell you that the foundation of the word harmony is the heart, number 7. Okay. And so we might as well, let's just quickly look at the numbers behind the word heart. Okay, I'm gonna have to share screen. I haven't done this. And yes, by the way, if I look a little weird, you're right. I have zero makeup on. I thought, what the heck? Okay, let's look at heart. Thank God the word heart, the foundation is number 7. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble. But I just love that the numbers absolutely reflect the quality of the word, you know? So obviously the foundation of heart is the heart. And but in Hebrew, the heart represents the double-edged sword. And it just means that there's a splitting of the heart. And because we take on an ego structure that separates us from our true self. And it's all about working with and healing the heart so that we can return to our true self and our oneness. And so when we focus on the heart and work in the heart, meaning bringing our attention down into the heart, it has the ability, the 14 is reflection, to help us reflect on what is real and what is not. And it also reflects back to us what is not true and what is false and what is true, right? And it brings relationships to us. It creates a relative experience to help us figure out what we want and what we truly don't want in our hearts. But also the 14 reflects that little tiny space. This is where we want to go in the heart. We want to find that tiny space in the heart that will eventually lead us to freedom, or the success is returning to the one. Okay, enough of that. We've spoken enough about the heart. Let's look at the word harmony. I'm feeling a little out of sync, so I'm feeling it too if you're feeling it. So let me move this over. Let's look at the word harmony. Dun, dun, dun. Could a word get any more perfect? If you were playing the slots, maybe you should focus on the word harmony or get into your heart when playing the slots, and you'll have ding, 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 777. Is there not a more perfect word than harmony? And it's reflected in the numbers 777. Is that not beautiful? So harmony is achieved through the heart. When you find that tiny space in the heart and it reflects back to you what you truly are, then the 7, obviously the seventh ray of freedom and transmutation, and the success is freedom and transmutation. But remember that that tiny space in the heart is, well, it's like there's 6 lines in hexagram, and the 7th is the empty space. That's what you're looking for in the heart. So in harmony and in the heart. So harmony and heart, I think, they go hand in hand, being in the heart, but it has really nothing to do with, I just love looking at all those 7s, but I'll stop share. But this whole idea about being in the heart, what I've discovered, it's not about feeling love for everyone. It's not about an emotion, Because as soon as you say heart, people think, oh, I'm supposed to be loving, love, 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 love everybody, blah, blah, blah. But it's not. It's about that the heart, when you bring your consciousness and your attention into the heart, then you find that tiny little space, or the space of, I don't know, probability. It's the space that doesn't exist, that exists before anything exists. It's your true self. And so it really has nothing to do with love, but it's because I think it's the heart that is, the heart is where we're anchored, right? Our soul is anchored into the heart, because I probably, I hope I'm not wrong. Sorry, I'm stumbling over myself. I haven't made a video in such a long time. I don't know what I'm saying, and I never prepare. So there you go. But the fetus, the heart, is the first thing that starts forming, right? But it's the heart is takes you back to the space before the sperm and the egg meet, that space of potential, right? It's the space of non-existence, and all probabilities exist in this non-existent space. So that's why the heart is so important. I wanted to say something else. What else was, oh, I was going to talk about the siddhi. So when I was asking to be shown, show me harmony. What is harmony? How can I experience harmony? Yeah, so I went into meditation, and of course, like, all my energy was being drawn into the heart. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's about the heart. And then all of a sudden, it was going tick tock, tick tock, like a metronome. And I thought, oh, here we go with the music reference. And then there's 2 points here. It's the manas point and the rit point, and that's mind and heart. And I thought, oh, yeah, it's the harmonization of between these 2 points. And then I thought, and then it started stopping, slowing down and stopping. And I thought, oh, there's something more here. It's not just the equilibrium, as Richard talks about, between these 2 points. There's something more. This isn't about harmonizing 2 points. And then the metronome came to an exact stop, and it got silent and stillness and emptiness. And that is harmony. When you awaken and discover that space of no space, I don't know how to explain it, the ineffable, and you realize that is what you are, and that's where your consciousness awakens to itself, and becomes awakens so deeply that it realizes itself. And now your identification has become that's harmony. Yeah. And but then it went even further, and it was kind of showing me like the physical, the 3 chakras that really help us create that harmony. And then the energy went up to the heart chakra, the throat chakra, and the third eye, and that all 3 of these really need to be clear and open, and realize, obviously, the heart, the open heart. And the open heart doesn't mean necessarily, it's not about loving everything, opening your heart to everything. It's about finding that space that's really expands you into nothingness. That's the openness of the heart, where everything just flows in and out. And it's not about loving something or not loving something. It's an open space that allows everything in life to flow without even a comment. Yeah, so that's what I'm discovering for me in my journey. This is just my opinion about this open heart, that you are discovering this like black hole, white hole, whatever you want to call it, this space that is eternity. Yeah. Anyway, where was I going on this? Oh yeah, so the chakras, yeah. Throat chakra, definitely, because the throat chakra is all about ego will, human ego will versus divine will and your identification with who you are. So obviously that has to be broken open, and your identification changes, and then cosmic consciousness is working through you, and the third eye obviously open so that you have the right eye seeing well, and that's also the seat of consciousness, that your consciousness is awakened. So those three chakras are in harmony as well. And then I decided, oh, all this contemplation, let's see what Richard Rudd has to say. And lo and behold, as it happens all the time, right in the first sentence about harmony, first couple of sentences, what does he say? He said it's the balancing point between these two opposites, and finally they come to a still point. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I experienced. This metronome, tick tock, tick tock, and then everything just slows into nothingness. I forget what he also said, very important point, which I talked about in another video. I can't remember which one, where I was talking about being in this heart. When I find that spot, I get this, like, it takes my breath away, like everything is like going in, like it wants, like it's being sucked in. And do you know, Richard says something, 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 and it's like a vacuum is sucking you in. And I thought, showing, ta-da. I love it when I experience the same thing that somebody else has experienced and writes about without having prior knowledge. So yeah, so there you go. There's a space in the heart that will take your breath away. And yeah, if you want true harmony in your life, go find that space. And also in that, and you know what, here's another thing I want to say. Richard talks about, which I'm not sure I quite agree with him completely, but he does say, and maybe I misread it, something in the next paragraph talking about that this harmony puts you in connection with other realities, like the celestial realm and the realm of cosmic consciousness. And of course it does. But that space in the heart of true harmony, stillness, emptiness, that space prior to all possibility, prior to all manifestation, is really beyond the celestial realms and cosmic consciousness, because it came before it, right? So that's just how I experience it. And yeah, and playing around in that, going inside, finding that space that takes you breath away, you really can't. Yes, actually, yes, now I'm hearing it. I have experienced, for just fleeting moments, these celestial realms. So yes, he's right, it does put you there, but you're experiencing them from another space of reality. What am I trying to say? And I have seen, like, getting flashes. I think I've said this before, like this realm, this crystal white realm, City of Lights, the City of Lights, where all the buildings are like crystal buildings, clear crystal I think that really exists. I saw it as if like clear as day, but it was like, it was shocking to see the light of this world. And also just the other day, when I was in that space, once again, this was a really big, like, shocking glimpse. And I've had this glimpse before when Kundalini was just really, when she was in upper process. And I have seen now one, two, three, this may be my fourth time, but 3 times prior to the completion of Kundalini in her upper process, this actual flame in my head or in my, I mean, a flame, like a real, like a torch flame of this brilliant flaming fire. And that is part of one of the upper process routes or indications that you're on this particular route that Kundalini takes. And at that time, I was like, oh, it must just be some, I don't know, flame, like flame that I don't even know what I'm saying. Like that chemical transmutation of that route that she's taking creates like a flame, like at the subatomic level or something. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I saw it again when I was in the space of the heart and kind of like losing myself, obviously losing myself. But this time it was huge. It was like the crystal city opened up, but this time another realm opened up and it was and the flame was like this huge fire flame. And I immediately, what it felt to me was the Hebrew letter Shin, which is the primordial fire, because it was fire. And all I could say is, wow, like, am I seeing the primordial fire? And is that kind of like seeing, like, I don't know, the very beginnings of like the first atom? Or I don't even know what I'm saying, but the original flame, is there a flame at the subatomic level? If anybody out there knows what this flame is, this fire, literal fire, please let me know. I would love to hear your comments. But all I can do right now is link it to Hebrew letter Shin, which is number 21, which is connected to, if we're thinking in Gene Keys terms, the codon ring of origin, 41, which is emanation, the first primal flame of emanation. Yeah. And it's called the, in Hebrew terms, it's called the consciousness, imagination consciousness. So it's where everything is being born and dreamt up before it is made manifest. Anyway, I mean, so what am I trying to say? Harmony is all about the heart. Just go into the heart, find that space. You'll definitely find harmony, but you'll find many other beautiful realities. Okay, until next time.